The He podcast is presented by Villanis in Marang by Alin Anwar. Who is he? He is me. Hi, I'm Rafi Redzwan. This is he. Here is my chance to share some amazing stories with some amazing people that are inspiring to me. He celebrates everyday people of everyday life. He revolves around conversations that inspire others to change the world and make a difference in life, with a little bit of laughter and a whole lot of drama. Join me for personal stories and experiences on health and healing, successes and failures, recovery and discovery, anything relatable, and anything in between. He elevates us to rise again and live our very best life. Just so you know, you are not alone. He is with you. Two sisters have turned their seaside dream into reality with Villanis, a serene retreat named in honor of their beloved grandfather, Anis. Co-owned by Alin Anwar, a renowned entrepreneur and wedding planner with a passion for wellness and yoga, Villanis offers an intimate sanctuary for women seeking healing and self-love. The retreats, designed by a team of wellness professionals, are limited to just 8 guests, allowing for a personalized experience. Visitors can enjoy peaceful kampong life, home-cooked meals, yoga sessions, spa treatments, and the calming embrace of nature. For guests traveling from Kuala Lumpur, transportation is provided to ensure a seamless experience. To view schedules and event dates, visit Villanis_Marang, that's VILLANIS_MARANG on Instagram, or click the link in the description below. Hi, Kohinoor. Hi, Emmeline.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good.
Good,
How are
good,
you?
good. I'm good. Thank you for saying yes to this three-way conversation with me. I'm so happy to have Emmeline for the first time. And Kohinoor, welcome back to season 4.
Thank you. Thank you for having me once
Yeah.
again.
And Emmeline,
Yeah.
I welcome you to join the bandwagon into this whole
I'm
group of
excited. Thank
community.
you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes.
It's a real privilege to, be with like-minded people and discuss about,
Yeah.
current issues. It's nice. It's a
Yes,
really nice
yes.
thing.
And I think this topic is very, I think it makes sense to me, especially. And I think when Kohinoor suggested that she wanted to talk about self-love and nurturing positivity, I felt like, this conversation resonate with what I go through today. I think keeping my spirit high is very difficult these days. Nurturing positivity and embracing self-love, keeping your spirit high is very challenging. I think we want to come together to discuss the importance of maintaining a high spirit and practicing self-love, even in the face of challenges, to explore how to cultivate inner positivity, set boundaries, and prioritize self-care to sustain a healthy mindset by providing, practical tips on boosting spirit, embracing self-worth, and finding joy in the small moments. Discover how nurturing self-love can be foundation for a fulfilling and empowered life. So my first question here is to define self-love and positivity. What does keeping your spirit high and practicing self-love mean to you, both personally and professionally?
I think people are holding on to like an overwhelming amount of attachments, which cause a lot of pain and suffering, and it's ongoing, right? Well, we don't realize that, these attachments, they're ephemeral, which means, the new ones will replace the old. So it's ongoing, and it's important in this day and age to find ways to break the cycle of suffering and how to heal as well, when we break these cycles. So when we speak about positivity, we relate it to like happiness, right?
Yeah.
And when you're happy, some of the following things may happen. You feel uplifted, light-hearted, aligned with your values. You experience like a freedom of your mind, right? Some parts of your mind. You're more productive. You're more creative. You're humorous. And, and when you do that, it makes other people feel good around you as well. So, it improves like the overall mood, right? when you have high frequency emotions such as feeling happy, joy, gratitude, and love, like that's creative energy, right? And you have boredom in between, and you have like destructive energy as well, which is like the heavier feelings like frustration, impatience, pessimistic, and worry, jealousy, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's, sort of like the negative aspect of frequencies. So, when we're aligned to our mind, to our heart, to our body and spirit, we vibrate differently. We're on a high, vibrational plane, right? So it's important to attain that. So yeah. So I think that's important.
What about you, Kohinoor?
I think like what Emmeline was saying makes a lot of sense. Is like where a person should vibrate. I think it's very important. How you're vibrating is very important. To what level you're vibrating is very important. But in order to attain that, I think one has to start, placing themselves first in order to make sure that they practice self-love and positivity all the time. Yeah, like you got to listen to your gut.
Mm-hmm.
You have to practice things like empathy as well. Because placing yourself first, sometimes people forget empathy along the way as
Yeah.
well. And it often gets blurred in between, I would say, and you forget.
Yes.
Yeah, self-love, you definitely put yourself first. You work on yourself, what needs to be worked on. Ask yourself, your gut, your intuition, where do you want to be? In which place in life do you want to be? How happy do you want to be? Are you happy in the place that you are right now? Are you not? And then you work on things like vibrating your energy and things like that, like what Emily mentioned. That's more in depth, I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like when you're in a place of happiness, you would unlock like abundance and creativity, and that's like really pro-life,
Yeah.
right? So it's important to be on level.
Yes.
Yeah. Like as you mentioned, vibrating at a high frequency of happiness, like everything flows a lot
Mm-hmm.
easier when you're in a good place, and things are just, it comes more natural to you because you wake up in an enthusiastic mood, wanting to
Mm-hmm.
do something, unlike when you're not happy,
Yeah. There's a lot of work to it to get there, to keep, your spirit highs. And I think to me, what it means is that it's just work. You have to continuously keep working on it. I mean, self-love can be, exercising, can be like eating good food, go out and traveling, having this conversation with you. I think I've been looking forward to this. But of course, there are days that I'm okay. There are days that I'm not, especially when it comes to personal life and also when it comes to professional life. Like, I think the need to be somewhere, the need to be successful, the need to be happy, the need to be in love, to do this and to do that is always challenging to keep up. And I think if I'm unable to work myself through it, I think I would eventually fall down again and I'll start doing stuff that is dangerous to me.
Yeah, I think like self-love is like so important because it motivates like our positive behavior, while we're reducing like harmful behavior, and empowers us to like take risks and to say no to things that don't work for us, right? You have to set the foundation for our relationships with ourselves. So I think that's fundamentally it. And why is it so difficult? Like, it's difficult because I think there's a lot of emphasis of unrealistic expectations on our physical and material needs, right? We have stress, we have self-expectations on family work, our spouses, our friends. And sometimes it's like life circumstances, you lose yourself due to the lack of boundaries, right? So it's important to set up like healthy boundaries as well.
Do you realize that you're doing injustice to yourself or not?
Oh, yeah.
One is to realize
that. Sometimes
you gotta sit and ask yourself, am I doing justice or am I doing injustice to myself? To what extent do I want to rectify this injustice,
But I let go myself sometimes. I just let it go. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, just do it, because otherwise I'm going to go crazy for just, if you keep thinking about it, like, should I do it or should I not? For example, should I eat? I know that if I eat steak, it will give me stomach discomfort. But it's
but you do it anyway. So it's like the balance,
moderation,
right?
everything in moderation, Then you take probiotics after self-love.
Love.
Yeah. I think like everything in life is about balance, right? You tip over one side and, you feel like some form of dysregulation of balance. Ultimately you have to search for your equilibrium in life aspects.
That is so true. Now, going back to the impact of experience, how have your experiences in life shaped your understanding of the importance of maintaining a high spirit and practicing self-love?
Well, then we all experience different kind of things, right? At the end of the day, I think we have to understand that we are our lives. The quality of lives that we choose to live come from the choices that we choose to make and embark on. So it's important to remember that. And because when you put that in your mind every day and you wake up, right, then you know that these are just little hurdles along the way, right? And you're on your way to achieve a bigger goal or something bigger, better. When the experiences are hard and difficult, I think you must always know there's a silver lining, in every negative experience. I think there's always a silver
Mm-hmm.
lining, be it big or small. It's a form of mindset that one needs to attain, I think, and practice every day, that you have to look at things positively. You have to take things as they come,
Mm-hmm.
and because I believe that if you don't maintain a high spirit, right, like you just keep crumbling down and crumbling down
Yeah.
and crumbling down, especially when you're going through something difficult. Yeah. And if you don't practice self-love as well, then you don't bother. You fall into that hole and that rut and you won't come out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important to remind yourself every time to be positive about things, and that you're put on this earth to do something good and to make a difference, to live the best form of your life that you can live. I mean, we all have different definitions of what the best form of our lives are, but yeah, it's important to remember that, and you can overcome anything, I think, if you have the right mindset.
Absolutely. I think like negligence, has like a profound effect, and it will
Yeah.
appear like in different forms of areas in your life, right? In your state of mind, your mental health, your physical health, it appears as like blockages. And one thing I grew to learn, like I find like the universe will keep sending us the same lessons in different forms until you finally learn, or in like agnostic terms, like we attract the same
Mm-hmm.
situation from our unhealed wounds, right? So we
Yeah.
have to do
Yeah.
a form of healing with our wounds. So we break that cycle, we break that pattern. If not, it just keeps repeating itself.
Yeah. 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 Well, I guess that's a cycle of life. I mean, we have to some days fall into that pit and then get back up again. And then some days we are up and some days we're in the middle. Some days we're just nowhere. I mean, for me, it's not.
Some things are in our karma,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
experience, like life experience, it's supposed to save us time,
Mm-mm.
right? So we either learn from
It
disaster
now.
or we
Yeah.
learn, yeah,
Mm-mm.
we either learn from disaster or we learn through wisdom, right? So experience in the meantime saves us time.
Yes.
I think we learn faster through disaster, right?
Correct. Like you're forced to learn.
Otherwise, you're like, oh, like, are you sure this is the right kind of wisdom I should practice?
Ken?
We still second question it, but when a disaster happens, you're like, nope, yeah, that's definitely the
Yeah.
way it should be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's no like an exact or fixed rule book of how we should do things because
Yeah,
according to time, everything evolves. The problem evolves, you evolve, the world evolves, everything evolves, and then sometimes what you think at the time is okay to do or practice that wisdom, and then the next time it happens again, it doesn't. It's not relevant anymore. You know?
Yeah, but
yeah,
it's
because there's some
also,
things. Yeah, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
sorry. Yeah, but it's also having like the
Yeah.
courage, right? To step away from like the familiar hell. Like you could be stuck in a cycle and you need the courage to, you need courage to believe in yourself, to elevate yourself, to remove yourself from the environment sometimes. Because how do you like heal? You can't heal if you're in the same toxic environment. It's like ripping off the band-aid, the moment remove
Mm-mm.
yourself from a toxic environment or a toxic behavior, that's when healing actually
Mm-mm.
can start.
I think.
Yeah, because then you have the opportunity to go back to your roots, right? And to
Oh,
then reflect like what I mentioned earlier, like we are our lives, the quality of life that we choose to live and all come from the choices that we choose to embark on. So when you withdraw yourself from a negative environment, you sit and you ground yourself once again and decide like what what part of your life are you embarking on? Are you on that path, like to living your correct
Yeah.
life?
Yeah.
Are you living the life you want?
yeah,
50-50.
absolutely. It's based on like your
50
decisions, right? Yeah.
50-50. Like the 50% of that, okay, I'm living the life I want. Another 50% like, what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah. No, because you can go through like a
Yeah.
really bad
Uh-uh.
experience and you can sit there. Like I've gone through
Yeah.
some bad
Yeah.
experiences, we should not get into
Yeah.
much detail, but yeah. And you can sit there, you can cry about
Uh-uh.
it, you can mope about it. But at the end of the day, who's gonna pull you out of it? you may have like the best
Mm-mm.
support system, and everything around you. They can be people who, some people are more blessed, maybe like they can be taken out of certain circumstances without them even having to move, think, breathe, eat, sleep, or do anything, right? But some are not. And you don't have a choice when you're in a negative situation, that you got to pull yourself out. You got to think with your head, like, what am I going to do about it? Am I going to be stuck
Mm-mm.
in it like this, or am I going to do something about it? You know? And when you decide, I always believe like one has to realize that we are our own biggest enemies.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say we are, because we can either make ourselves or we can break
Mm.
ourselves.
I like that. Yeah.
You know, if you decide to make yourself, you pull yourself out of the rut
Mm-mm.
every time. You be like, I'm not letting what life throws at
Mm-mm.
me to like
Yeah, yeah,
bring me
yeah.
down.
Yeah, but
You know,
it's also having the courage to ask for help
yeah,
sometimes, right?
that's true.
And a lot of us think that our problems are ours, to fix and solve. But sometimes, when you become in, you're in this really horrible cycle of thought, right? You can't come out of it, and you're depressed, you're low. It's important to have a good support system, right? Like friends that you can
Yeah.
trust or family that you can trust to reach out to, to talk about things. Because sometimes to process difficulties in life and grief or whatever it is, we
Mm.
tend to shut down, right? We don't reach help. And so it's kind of like having the courage and know when to
Yeah.
like reach
Yeah,
out
absolutely.
and to speak to someone that can help
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. But I guess people have to like, to do that, you need to acknowledge first that they're like, that this is not the life you want for yourself, you know? I think one has to remind themselves always before going into a depressive state of mind that like, no, this is not
Mm-mm.
what I want, you know? Then only you can, then only you'll have the energy or the strength to reach out to another person. Let's say pick up the phone and call your friend and like talk about your emotion, talk about your feeling. You know, you need to constantly remind yourself, like that voice in your head needs to tell you, why do I want to get into this thought of mine, frame of mind, thought of mine. Yeah, I don't want to live like this. Because I don't know, that's my
Yeah, yeah,
belief.
yeah.
It's different for every individual. If I go like down low, I'll be like, oh, be in this mindset. I'll pick up the phone, talk to a friend, I'll talk to
Yes.
Emmeline.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
let's do something positive. But one has to acknowledge that, like, there are days, of course, that I'm like,
Yeah,
leave
of
me
course.
alone. Our 2 days, I want to
Mm.
hibernate. But after a while, you done jelak. You get jelak. Like, I've already reached a jelak phase. So, like, I don't want to vibrate at a low
Mm-mm.
frequency.
Good.
Like what Emmeline says, we remove ourselves out of toxicity, where you know that if you mingle around in a toxic environment or things that are toxic, you know that you start vibrating lower. And you actually also get irritated when you do, because when you know you want to vibrate higher, but it's not vibrating at the same level, you tend to like,
Mm-mm.
there's a oof,
Yeah.
energy switch. I would say, I don't know
Yeah.
how to explain this. Emmeline will explain it to you better.
No, I mean like sometimes like overcoming like low moments, like you have to understand that like sometimes like no one can
No.
prepare you
Yeah.
for it. It just happens, right? There's no like book or rules that you can reflect on, right? You have to
Yes.
just go through it, and no one can do the work for you. You have to do the work yourself, right? So I think like in these really low moments, what I've done in the past that has helped me is to exercise gratitude. Like, think about what you're grateful for, what you have in your life that's going right. And when you exercise gratitude and you're mindful of yourself and your environment, and you reflect on the things that you have been taking for granted, you overcome these negative feelings with acceptance sometimes. Yeah, so it's just like figure out what it is that's going right in your life, be grateful for it. And I feel when you start from a place of, gratitude, things will
Gratitude.
start to sort of,
Mm.
start to flow a little bit
Yeah,
better.
yeah. How do you practice gratitude? Like, what do you do exactly? Like, do you go praying or, what do you do? Yeah.
You thank the
Like,
universe first.
What are the examples
like,
of practicing gratitude? Like, I think I sometimes struggle to like, okay, am I doing this? Is practicing gratitude? Is this practicing gratitude or is it not? You know what I mean? I question myself and stuff like that.
well,
Yeah.
things are going, yeah, and things that are going right with your life, like you have your
Mm.
health, right? You have your experience, you have your knowledge, you have your family, you have your friends. Things are going right in your life, and I think, yeah, from there, it's easier to stem out into positivity because you have to get your mind
Yes.
back on track. So you have to think about things that are going right for you. Because like you tend to like when people are going through like a low period, like depression and stuff
Yeah.
like that, you spiral, and it gets lower and lower and lower. And sometimes you just don't know how to get yourself out of it. And that's why I think when it gets to that kind of stage, it's important to sort of like reach out to people, and when you reach out to people, it's like sometimes good friends can give you a different perspective, right? It's like a change of perspective.
I think we
Yeah.
spoke about
Yeah.
this, right?
Yes.
The
Yeah.
last session I did with Reefy, we spoke about this gratitude, I think.
That's good. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
believe
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
did,
Yeah.
right? It was about more than a year back, and I was telling him it's very important that we practice that. I think we even spoke about it in a religious form, right?
It's like, how can the universe give you something more if you're not appreciative
Yeah.
of what you
Yeah. Yeah.
currently have? And you have to understand that problems are problems. It's going to happen like every single day. Everyone's facing problems, right? And it's not forever. Nothing in life is permanent. It's a challenge, right? I don't want to think of my problems as problems. I want to think of it as challenges. So when I think
Obstacles.
of it, and obstacles, like, when it's challenged, okay, how do I get myself out of this? How do I find ways to go about it? And so it's just changing your mindset, not like amplifying the issue or amplifying the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think of it as a
The
challenge.
reason I ask is because sometimes there's a moment of gratitude, like I am thankful for what I have. I am blessed than most people. I have this and I have that. But at the same time, is it wrong to question stuff like that? Like, why this is my life? Why? No?
No, I don't think there's
Yeah.
anything wrong with that. Yeah,
No.
there's nothing
Oh,
wrong with
exactly.
asking for more in life. We should always ask for more. We should always ask for more in life, and we shouldn't like just sort of settle, right? But in order to expand on that, you have to be a place of creativity, right? And when you need to be in a creative space, you have to be
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
How else would you be creative? You need to be in a higher state of mind in order to be creative. So I think like if you're feeling down and everything else, it's really hard in that state of mind to sort of expand on your creativity and
Yeah.
get yourself out. So you have to fix that first.
Especially with this podcast, I think most of the energies come from this feeling low energy. I think it thrives on that energy. What I meant to say is that sometimes when I am happy, I'm like, oh my God, I have no idea how to write this about, because certain thing comes from experience, certain things come from feeling. But also on the opposite of that is that if I feel happy, then the happier the topic will be about. But that's when the balance comes in. To overcome this whole low, feeling or low spirit, I think for me it's a lot of people say it's exercise, it's spiritual, like praying and stuff like that. What do you think? If it's not doing anything or being a bitch or just being a
I
bitch,
think the
sometimes I can be a bitch. Yes,
Gotta be
sometimes,
nasty.
because
we all have our
yes,
days.
nice. But if someone crossed the line, I'm gonna put you in your place. What do you
You
think?
gotta
Yeah.
ask
But
yourself.
when I put them on their place, I'm like, shit. What did I just? But then at the same time, I feel like what a relief that it's out of the system. Do you see where this is going?
Sometimes you need to
Yeah,
put
yeah,
things out
yeah.
there. Yeah. You have to put things out there, like to iron it out. But it also depends how comfortable you are with that person, Is it worth telling them how they make you feel or how you're feeling, Some things are just not worth putting your energy into.
That's so
Can
true.
the person take it? Can they not take it? You're heard about something, you're like not contented with how the circumstance is, and you decide like, okay, look, I like our connection, but like I'm not happy about this. So you sit and you have a heart to heart with the person and tell them, like, perhaps say like, you're hurting me by certain actions that you're doing, and I would rather tell you than keep it to myself, because when you keep it to yourself, you build
Yes.
resentment, and when resentment builds, that's when you build frustration, like. And then you start, and you snap at a person, and you want to tell them off. You like, you want to behave in a snappy manner, or like you get intoxicated, and then you tell them off when you're intoxicated. It's because you never got the opportunity to sit down and have a heart to heart, because perhaps you're always feeling like you're not worthy of your opinion. But everyone's worthy of their opinion, and telling, not just opinion, but everyone's worthy of their feelings and emotions. And be it your friend or your family or your partner, anybody, somebody who you have a bond with, I think in order to continue building that bond, you must be able to share how you feel about things.
Yeah,
if you
it's
have
like
that
staying
bond.
like
Yeah.
authentic. It's like staying true
Yeah.
to your boundaries, staying authentic to yourself. Like the highest form of like, frequency, like highest form of vibration is authenticity. You have to be authentic to yourself. And sometimes in complicated relationships, it's difficult. You have to pick your battles. Like what do we talk
Mm-mm.
about, right? So I think establishing like really healthy ways to communicate, like find out the healthiest way to communicate that's going to work, like a win-win situation. Like it's what I'm going to tell this person. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be for their betterment? Is it going to be for my betterment? And pick what you say, pick
Yeah.
your battles, because if you know that that's going to trigger the person, try not triggering the person, because you want
Yes.
positive
Yes.
outcome, right? So you have to look for win-win situation. That's why I feel like communication these days, sometimes it breaks down. We don't know how to
Mm-mm.
communicate with
Mm-mm.
each other these days.
Especially after the breakdown,
So
after the
finding the right
fighting,
way.
for example, can like, okay, now you know this is the limit. Like, how do you go about the next time? Because you won't trigger them anymore.
Well, I think like
Mhm.
space is good. Like sometimes you give
Yeah.
a bit of space. So like, anger is horrible because it just, uh, honestly, anger can be horrible and it can be good as well because it's a healthy emotion in a sense that it
Yeah.
tells
Confrontation.
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
oh, it tells you when your boundaries have been
Yes.
crossed. That's when you get
Yes.
Yeah.
angry, right? So that could be a healthy emotion as well. But to vent it out at someone, you're causing more
Mm.
harm than good, right? So it's about finding the right space and time to talk about things. Like, in 3 days, I'm feeling really angry right now. I'm going to say this, right? But I refrain from doing that. I'm going to think, okay, in 3 days' time, if I'm still feeling this particular way about this particular matter, then I'll voice it out. So I'll wait for my anger to sort of subside and sort of, calm down. In 3 days' time, do I still want to bring this up and fight about
Reflect
it?
on it,
Have time
Mm.
to reflect, give yourself the space, give the other person the space
Mm.
as well, and then
Yeah.
talk about it then when both people are sort of like
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
emotional.
Yeah. Yeah. I think people would react more sensible when they're not emotional, even to the most difficult
Correct.
conversation. And I have
Oh,
that, I think
absolutely.
I've experienced that many times. I think coming out to something that was very difficult to have a conversation with, it was so much different when someone is emotional and when someone is not. When someone is not, I felt like, okay, they are more sensible, including myself. When we had that conversation, it's like, okay, now we know where this is coming from. But when we're emotional, everything is just like blurted out there, and then it will sometimes get worse, a bit too dramatic sometimes. So I agree with you. I think sensibility towards this whole self-love, low apa emotion, spirit, how to overcome it. I think it's just having the right time, picking up the right time to have the conversation and understanding what it really is, why it bothers you so much that eventually if it bothers you for so long, it crosses your boundaries, you would have to figure it out how to get away with it, and then come out of it eventually, because it's like volcano. I mean, if you keep building up bit by bit,
You'll erupt.
you tolerate, and the
Eventually,
other
yeah.
person will eventually also take advantage of that tolerance and cross the line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it builds
builds resentment.
resentment,
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
bottle things up,
yeah.
it builds resentment. So it's important to and take time off, sit, reflect on it, and if you still feel the way you feel about it, like in a day or two, I mean, I usually give myself like a day or two, right? Sometimes even a day, and then you think, okay, if I still feel that way, then it keeps happening, and you're like, okay, I still feel the same way. Then you decide to, I think that's when you deal
Yeah,
with it,
yeah.
you sit down, you have a conversation about it. But it also depends on your connection with this is in context to
Mm-mm,
somebody
mm-mm.
else, right? It's between like two people. I think it really, it's subjective. It depends whether like what your connection is,
Yeah,
what kind of bond you share. If it's a romantic bond, it'd probably be a
yeah.
different approach. If it's a
Yeah.
friendship
Different.
bond,
Yeah, yeah,
it's a
yeah, yeah.
different approach,
And also, battling my inner demon is the most difficult. Inner demon can be something that is perceived wrong by the society. Maybe it's not wrong for me, but it's wrong for the society, for example, right? And then I feel like battling that, like, how do I get myself into that whole inner demon self that I need to get away with it? But that's what I like, for example. But it's not right in the eyes of society. It's not right in the eyes of religion, for example. It's not right in the eye of
What do you mean by
inner
inner
demon. Is
demon?
like, okay,
Would you like
could
to
be like,
elaborate?
okay, for Muslims maybe it's alcohol or
Or
yes,
vices,
vices.
like
I mean,
vices, unhealthy
vices,
vices.
like being
No.
me. I think, yeah,
Mm, yeah.
being me is
Being you.
for some people is so wrong in so many ways. For some people, for the Western
Yeah.
people, be right. That's okay to be you. You are who you are, especially when you are,
But I think our society has become more acceptable to it, I mean, there's definitely different types of communities in our country, right? But we are somewhat
Mm-mm.
liberal here. And I feel freedom of accepting one another is slowly becoming more and more acceptable. But then again, like,
Yes.
who are your peers? Who do you choose to make your peers? If you choose to have the netizens as your peers. I don't want to get backlash for
Oh,
saying
yeah, I
this,
know what
but
you mean.
yeah. Then of course that you'll be succumb to more harsh criticisms. But if your peers are people who are more like yourself or more like your surroundings and all, then the kind of criticisms you will get when you're battling your own inner demons, I think is not that difficult. You get a softer, questioning response, or they wouldn't criticize
Yeah,
you as
yeah,
much,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know? Like you choose your, like we say, we choose our battles, so we choose who to express
Yeah,
our inner demons to.
and exercising like self-control is like everything. Like
Yeah.
sometimes if we know that it's going to cause hurt or harm to others, you have to be
Okay.
mindful about that. Yeah, and exercise self-control because
I like
I don't
that.
know. I think like
Yeah,
if
I like that.
society,
Yeah,
yeah, if society sort of loses like self-control, oh my God, it's going to
wild.
be chaotic,
Gonna be wild.
Yeah, like wow, like throwing
Yeah,
things
it's gonna be
everywhere,
like
right? So
PDD.
I think okay, that's like really extreme, like with all the baby oil and stuff, right? But
It's a joke.
no, all this memes on baby oil. Oh my God, like
It's
yeah, but
wild. Yeah,
anyway, I
yeah, yeah.
think
Okay, go on. Sorry. Then.
but exercising is a healthy form. A healthy degree of self-control is important, and not to hurt others, right? So I think anything that stems from there is a good place to start.
Yes, yes. Wow, wow.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, the power of community and support. Emmeline, you spoke a lot about support, having the right support system, having the right support system. I think you repeat this many times over the conversation, and I love it because I think without support, we couldn't get nowhere. I think I wouldn't be here today just because myself alone.
Your
Yes,
tribe is your
exactly.
guard.
So the power
Oh
of
yeah,
community
absolutely. And
and the
it's finding a
support, I think, is
tribe.
everything. Families and
Yeah.
friends and sometimes even netizens, because they can go
Yeah.
against you, but they can also go with you. So what role does community and support from loved ones play in maintaining your spirit and self?
Oh, it's everything. I mean, like, when I went through, I mean, like, everyone has different down periods, right? I'm gonna like give you an example, like grief. Okay, if someone is experiencing grief, like from a breakup, from losing a loved one, support system is so important. Or even like, with people who go through failed relationships with like, narcissistic abuse, right? Having like the importance of having the right support system to fit your healing is everything. Because sometimes, when you hurt or you go through the grief, you don't know, you spiral, you go down. Finding the right support system and talking about it, talking about your issue, like being open to communicate and to express how you feel and not shut down. That's everything. Because once you shut down, it's
Yes.
a spiral, and you don't
Yeah,
want to
you'll
go
never
there.
deal with it. Yeah, it's difficult for you to deal with it then once you shut
Been
down,
there, done that.
Yeah, and
I've been there. Yeah.
sometimes like
Yeah.
when you hit like rock bottom, it's like there was one time that I did hit rock bottom. I'm like thinking, wow, this is it. Like this is what it feels like to hit rock bottom. And you have to ask yourself, what do you want to do from here? You have to go up. There's only one way, go up. You can't choose like any other approach from that. So having or joining community groups, like sometimes, all right, like on Facebook, Facebook has got so many community groups, right? You can join a community group and see, people who have gone through similar situations, sometimes even worse than you, and they write about their problems, and you have some people like advising. Choose the right type of advice. Don't follow everyone else's advice. Choose what resonates with you. And I think that's, stage one of healing, like just
Mhm.
reaching out, finding the right
Yeah,
people to
yeah.
connect with. And I'm very fortunate, my mother and I are very close. So I speak to her nearly every day, right? She's like my pillar of support. And I'm very fortunate to have that. And it's important to find, the right support system for you when you're going through any aspect in your life that's, sort of,
Mm. Yeah,
detriment to
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. I think for me, sometimes it can be my wife, or sometimes can be my mom. Sometimes recently I had a conversation with Kohinoor, really long. She was like, I think it really depends who I jive with. Like today, I jived with you,
Yeah, yeah.
Emmeline and Kohinoor, about this conversation. But I think it's important because I think once you get to be honest with your story, with your, what you're going through, without feeling being judged, or especially,
Not
yes,
afraid of
yes,
judgment,
yes,
you know?
I
Yeah,
can
don't
be
care about
honest
that.
with yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't care
think that
about
is
it.
the best in support system.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's truly when,
Yeah.
healing can begin, right?
Yes.
When you're
Yes.
honest with yourself. That's how
Yeah.
can you heal, like, if you're not
Yeah.
honest with yourself? You have to
Yeah.
recognize what
Mm-mm.
part of it, what part of yourself
That needs to be
needs,
healed.
yeah,
You
and
know?
sometimes people can say things to
Mm-mm.
trigger you, like,
Yeah.
they can say things to hurt you, or say things and you feel like offended or triggered, right? So
Yeah.
when someone says something to trigger you, that's where you need to heal. That's something they're showing you a part of you that
Yes.
needs to be healed. So, be open to criticisms, or, understand
Yes.
triggers,
Yeah. Yeah.
understand your triggers, and that's
True.
where
And I'm
healing can start.
guilty of that too. Sometimes when you speak about triggers, and I can shift the conversation. Sometimes I can be toxic. I can say things I don't mean, just because I have so much anger already building up in there.
Angst. I wouldn't say anger.
Angst.
I'll say
Yes.
angst. We
Angst.
all
Yeah,
have angst,
exactly. So sometimes I just say it and I realize, oh my God, then my sister say, oh my God, they call me up. I'm like, Mama, you're so toxic. Oh,
I
gee,
do.
yeah. I said, did I really say that? I'm like, oh
Oop.
my God. Then you're right. Let me just say, like, because there's a lot of things inside that going on, and I think you cannot be neutral. Yes.
It's like I
Ah.
was thinking it, but did I just accidentally say it?
Did I think out loud?
Because I think especially when the person that you're talking to is super close. Because sometimes you don't have filters. You just
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's natural
It's
to say to
natural.
your sister,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
why? And stuff like that. But I won't say it here. But I think,
Yeah.
to be fair, like, I'm guilty of that. People have been guilty to me too, to be fair. I mean, I'm no different. And it's really
Yeah.
important to, like you said, understanding that whole triggers. Why do you say it? And why do I feel triggered?
Yeah.
It must be a reason.
Yeah, like,
Yes.
why is it that you feel
If it
triggered? Yeah,
bothers you,
that's
if it bugs you, it bugs
fundamentally
you.
it.
Yeah.
Like,
There's no way around it to say, I'm not bugged, or it bugs you, it bugs. I mean, there's no way around it to say that I'm not bugged by whatever you just said, for example. But of course, we also have ego. Ego sometimes
Yeah.
just not to say, I'm sorry I said it. And sometimes the egos tell you to distance yourself for a while. I mean, recently I had an argument about something with my spouse, and I'm like, I think we went just a bit too far. I snapped. And of course, when I snap, and then when I ask for forgiveness, there's still ego that, like, oh, I'm not going to talk to you until I'm ready. I understand that. I think because maybe what I said was very mean. What she said before I was mean was also mean to me. So it's a different kind of triggers. At the time,
yeah.
we didn't vibe the same vibration.
Yeah, it's also coming away from that. Like, okay, when you're triggered and war explodes, right? And what do you do from then? Like,
Yeah,
what do you do
yeah.
from there? Establishing that healthy communication and understanding and boundaries. I think, like, if you know that hurt your partner, you have to give your partner that space to sort of recover from that, and then not let
Yes.
that happen again. Because if not, it's just like a toxic cycle that goes on and on, right? And that's not good for anybody. And everyone has to break away from that. So it's important to establish boundaries, right? And what not to do in future. Just say, like, oh, similar situation happens again in the future. What's going to happen? Are you going to react the same way that you did before? No. You learn from that experience. You move forward from that experience. You don't let that happen. So experience saves you time, right? Saves you time. So from that experience, that has happened, how not to let that happen again. So you would have better skill set in the future not to let
Yeah,
that happen again, and to
yeah.
communicate in a better level.
There must be some sort of change.
But I would say, yeah, but not everybody can people will resonate to this, I think what we're speaking about, but I feel like it's not easy for some to be able to apply this, maybe
Well,
Emmeline
self-awareness.
could share with us how does one, reach this self-awareness easily, Because a lot of
Yes,
people are
like I said,
stubborn,
ego.
I have
Yeah, there's
friends
some
as well.
ego
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also have friends who you can tell them 20 times the same thing, and then they're like, no, they're no, 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 no. And then like the 25th time probably said, and you're like, oh my God, you make so much sense. I was like, I've been telling you from the start, because it's easier for an onlooker to give advice than those who are in the situation, right?
Yeah, but they
You
have to
know?
be ready to receive
yeah,
that
yeah.
advice.
Yeah. But how do we
Yes.
help
Okay,
them
wait,
be
wait. Before
ready?
Emmeline
Yes,
answer that, like
Ah,
somebody told me, like, don't date that
Yes,
guy.
I
I'm
want to
like,
hear.
he's this. The person tell
Yeah.
me that the guy is apa red flag. But I want that guy, for example. Like, I want that guy. I don't care if it's red flag.
red
I
flag.
chase red flags. I don't care because it's so hot. But like you said, 20 times you've been telling me,
You're
stay
like,
away from this guy.
but my inner voice is
I can
like, I can
handle this.
handle this.
I don't care.
Well, usually when that happens, I wait for that
Okay.
to happen. So just say my friend wants to chase the red
Cross the
flags. Well,
bridge.
okay, I support your
And it
decision
comes.
because I'm
Yeah.
a friend to you. Do what makes you happy, and I encourage my friend to do what he or
Yes.
she wants to do, right? And at the end of it, when it does happen, I'm not gonna say I told you so. Then that person is gonna be more open
Yeah.
to listen because they've gone through that journey already.
I'll be that person who be like, no, I will change him. I want to see he can change. I'm just joking. Yeah.
Oh, hope is a double-edged sword. Like hope
Yes.
seriously is a double-edged
It's like,
sword.
why didn't you tell me before this? Like, what
No.
do you mean? I've been telling you. Okay, here's a
Yeah.
tub of
Yeah.
ice
Yeah.
cream.
It's like
Yes.
life
Yeah. Yeah.
experiences, right? So sometimes it's just you have to go through the
Yes.
experience in
Yes.
order to learn. And sometimes, like if someone tells you, you won't get it. You won't learn from it. You have to go through the whole journey of
True.
realization. So when that happens, then you realize, okay, maybe so and so what they said was correct, or maybe my opinion was correct. Maybe this person can change. Everything takes time. So it's only after the duration of time when all of those things happen, then only you come to that realization, and then you go through
Yes.
self-awareness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You spend that time
Very
to sort
true.
of reflect inwards. And all this thing, you need time. You need time to process that, and everyone has a different amount of time that they take to process that. So usually I'm patient. I'm a patient friend. I just let my friend go through it. And then at the end of it, when they're ready to talk about things, then we talk about,
Yeah. Yeah.
what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah. Yeah. I think time is the essence to a lot of things. To get over something, to grieve, to let that go, and to find acceptance and embrace that. It's all time, I think. Although some people say time does not heal, but I think time does give, grace.
It's grace. It's like giving yourself
Yes.
time and grace,
Yeah.
to recover from the situation.
Now, going on to defining qualities for high quality spirit. I think this is important. We do not just want to keep our spirit high, but we want the high spirit is quality, So, but what qualities do you believe are essential for someone to keep their spirit and practice self-love consistently and navigate, negative stuff away from all this?
Okay, so like, what is a highly spirited person, right? Someone who is like energetic, vibrant, happy, like an all-rounder balance. Like the personality traits would be like, a lot of love, joy, peace, and patience, right? And kindness as well above everything. So, everyone has a different way to attain this. It's okay to be you, not at the cost of any detriment to yourself or to others. I think that's important. Yeah. And so to reset, sometimes to attain a high spirit, you need to sort of reset, right? So
Reset.
and reset, and sometimes you need to take baby steps towards this, and you have to find ways to release blockages, I think.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I exercise Reiki. I do Reiki, and 5 Reiki principles that that has helped me in the past. I would say to myself, like, just for today, I will let go of anger. Just for today, I will let go of worry. Just for today, I will count my blessings. Just for today, I will be kind to every living being. Just for today, I will work honestly. And all these things work towards authenticity. and it raises your
Yeah.
vibration, your mood. Yeah, I practice those 5 principles to attain the
Yeah,
highest
yeah.
spirit.
Exercise, I think. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
beautiful.
I need to
Yeah.
work on my exercise.
I think it's
Yeah.
everyone's
You
dose.
sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everyone's dose of like dopamine is like very different,
Yeah, but
Like
I
what
feel like
what
with those 5 Reiki principles, it teaches me to
Oh,
be present. Like right now, I'm present, and I'm away from all these things that trigger me or make me upset, like away from anger, away from worry. So I'm able to function on a different,
yeah, yeah.
capacity.
You're right. You're right. Wow. Do you get spirituality involved in this journey?
Oh, absolutely. Like for me, I'm a spiritual person, right? And I'm an atheist's
Yeah.
nightmare. Because I have friends that are atheists, and they're like, "What is she talking about? What is soul? I don't have a soul. I don't believe in spirit." I'm like, "Oh
Yeah.
no." Yeah, I'm a highly spirited person. I would say a spiritual person, spirited and spiritual. And I find like my spirituality has really helped me develop a different awareness of myself and towards other people as well, and I find it has made me more calm as a result, through my spirituality and to believe that there's like a higher existence that's much
Yeah.
greater than us, that's this universal life force that's there to help us and to guide us. And also, the intention to release things that don't serve us and to manifest good things that can help us. I think that's very important.
Mhm.
I think
Manifestation.
the key word, yeah, here from today's interview. Oh, I sound like I'm the interviewer. What Emily did say.
You
Yeah,
are?
because we had this we had this part one, right? Ricky and I, so which she said I think is very, very significant to release what doesn't serve you. This is something that's very important, I believe. Only believe it, but I practice it, and I think a lot of people should practice it. Release what doesn't serve you, even in negative thoughts. Why are you feeling negative, right? What is triggering the negativity? If you can,
Mm.
release it. If you can step out of that zone or that environment that's causing it or the situation, step out of it, you know? It's a form of releasing what's not serving you. Because if you feel it's continuously pulling you down, right? Then you have no choice but to release it. Even if you love somebody, you
Yeah,
release
true.
it. If it's
Oh,
causing you a lot of negativity, sometimes you don't have a choice. You might as well release them. If it's meant to be yours, it'll come
Hmm.
back.
yeah. But when it
Release what doesn't serve you.
Yeah, like when it hurts, like listen to it because the pain is trying to teach you something. I always believe in
Yeah.
that. Like pain is not like, I mean, sometimes people are scared of pain, but I think like pain is a beautiful emotion because it's trying to teach you something. Your pain is
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
teach you something. It's trying to help you level
Yes.
up,
Yes. Yeah.
so to say.
It's a
Yeah.
real OG.
Yeah. And I think there's a balance between pain and happiness. Like sometimes I feel happy, sometimes I feel like I'm in pain. And whenever I feel like I'm in pain with this current life, I feel like, okay, it's serving me something. Like maybe it's taking me somewhere. Maybe it's time for me to reflect. And thing like Kohinoor said, I think if it's bothering you, for example, you need to step away from it. Like maybe I didn't have the choice just yet. I would have to accept and embrace it for now. And maybe some things I cannot change. Like I cannot change myself. I cannot change who I am. I cannot change the fact that I am me. And I am me, and it's either I have to accept myself or you have to accept me. If you don't, then who else will? So,
Yeah, exactly. You need to love
yes,
yourself
I
first,
cannot
accept
change who my
yourself.
parents are. I cannot change who my son is, for example. I cannot change the fact that I'm Malaysian, for example. I cannot change the fact that I would love to get out of here for now. But
You
I
could
could,
make a
yes, I
plan
could,
to
but
get
it's
out
not
of
going to be
here.
tomorrow. So for the
Yes.
time being, I'm going to accept
Yeah.
the fact that this is the life I am in. Yeah,
And
and
it
I'm
could be your
okay with
like,
it. I love it.
yeah, could be your evil
Yes.
back end plan that you're working and manifesting. Yeah, and tomorrow, like this podcast might take you somewhere
Ooh,
else
I
in the world,
hope. Yes,
and
yeah,
just
yeah,
be
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. So I just, yeah, like for now, I don't have that choice. I mean, I love being here. At the same time, I feel like there's more to life. There's more to just me sitting in my room doing a podcast. It's me in a studio with audience, for example. For example,
yeah,
I'm not going there. I'm just saying
yeah.
yeah.
out loud. But I'm just saying there's more to life. I mean, is it okay to ask for more? But is it wrong?
Don't forget Richmond
Yeah.
coffee.
Again,
Natasha,
no. Just go
where's
back to
my
it. Should
coffee?
I make my own coffee? Yeah, I mean, might as well. I'm just saying, like, should I just keep supporting Richmond when I can make my own? So yeah, so is it okay to ask for more? It's okay, but when I don't know. I think I just need to embrace the fact that I be present, enjoy the life that I am in today. My son is
Mm.
growing up; he's happy with school. I have a beautiful family, and I think although someone out there is, but that's what I think. But when I'm with them, maybe it's not. I don't know.
The
Yeah, the
grass is
grass
not
is
Yes,
always greener on the
green.
other
yes.
side.
You know what?
Yeah. The grass is
Yes,
greener.
yes.
Like when you
Yes,
water the grass.
Exactly.
manifesting is
Yes.
something that I've done in the past, and I have gotten my dreams, for example. But that dream does not serve me sometimes. It was a dream 10 years ago, for example. But when I
Mm.
got it, I'm like, I'm not as happy as I thought. When I got this position, for example, when I got this pay,
Yeah.
when I got this, when I got that. But it's important to practice gratitude. You're right. Just to come back to it. Yeah,
Exactly.
it goes
It
back.
all
Yeah,
goes
yeah,
down back to
yeah.
that again,
Balancing.
grass is
Yeah,
greener where
yeah,
you water it.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
And then water with champagne. Yes.
Krista!
And my grass is the carpet grass, not cow grass. I'm just joking. So look at your grass. Is it cow grass or is it carpet grass?
If it's cow grass, don't need to water it. The universe will water it for you. I'm sure somebody will take care of it.
Okay. I know it's
That's
a
bad
bad analogy,
advice.
but it's just a joke. It's just a joke. Wow, wow. Yeah, it's inside
Inside joke.
joke. Guiding wisdom. I think this is the bit, I think, to before we wrap up. What words of wisdom or personal mantras do you hold on to keep yourself and your spirit high and nurture with love, self-love?
What is this?
Guiding
Guiding
wisdom. Yeah.
wisdom, yeah. Well, I think if it doesn't bring goodness to your being,
Okay.
let it go. And I think in this day and age, presently, we were talking about this earlier, when we were breaking the ice. Like, presently in this dating age, like, relationships have become somewhat
Yeah.
plastic, right? Like the Tinder age, where people are disconnected and relationships have become somewhat like disposable,
Disposable.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's sad. It's a sad
Disposable.
age. Like, a lot of my friends go through this, and like I hear from my friends, right? They talk to me about the issues and stuff, and it's sad. Like people have just become so disconnected, and it really creates conflicts with those people who are sincere, who are really genuinely looking out for genuine relationships. It's important to be like responsible with people's hearts and feelings, I think. But I think in this day and age, it's become
Very
quite the
the
opposite.
opposite. It's very challenging
Oh.
to even talk about it. Like I don't know what relationship is anymore.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
disposable.
I think
It's
this
replaceable. Yeah.
it's sad. Like yeah, like there's this quote that I saw by Bob Marley, and he said like the biggest coward is a man who awakens a woman's love with no intention of loving her, and vice versa, to be honest. And a lot of times, like we look for the right one, and we're not willing to do like the personal work on ourselves to be the right person. So I think sometimes we have to reflect on that. We have to do that inner work. Like if we're looking for this person, if we just keep on looking and looking and looking, it's just like increasing the body count, right? We have to do the work on ourselves to be that person that we're looking for. Naturally, that person will
Yeah.
gravitate to us.
And of course, love is very subjective. I mean, it's funny that you mentioned that. I thought about what Bob Marley said a lot. Like, am I in this relationship with that intention, for example? But and then I asked myself, if I'm not, I wouldn't be doing this, or I wouldn't be doing what I do today because of that. I wouldn't just be doing this just to survive, for example. I would have gone for something else. But then again, who can answer that? Like, there's two women here, Kohinoor and Emmeline. What do you think love is? Like, is this love? Does it have to be just, is it making love or money or all? Or what is it about that women?
Oh gosh, that's a loaded question. Like
Oh,
what women
wow.
want.
We want to be loved, that's for sure. I think we all search for authentic love, as
Yeah, yeah.
but
I
in
think
today's day and
sincerity.
age, yeah, I think in today's day and age, I don't know, frankly, sad to say this, I don't know if that authentic love still exists, or are people starting to look at love as just an emotion? Is there the Romeo and Juliet love still, to death do us part? Love is not love with alters and alteration fine. Think about
Yeah.
it. Like, is there such love that's still left? No,
Yeah.
we don't know. We can manifest it.
Because I never found it.
Yeah.
I never found it.
Not yet. You have not found it yet. You gotta
Yes,
practice
yeah.
saying
Be
that. Yeah.
positive.
Yeah. Not you've
But
never
if
found
I
it. You
were a
haven't found it
woman,
yet,
I never
but
found
it's
it. Like,
coming.
I think a man, I think I found it. I found a woman who loves me, and I think she does all she can. But as a woman, for example, I think I don't know if man is ever, including myself, man is ever that authentic or honest with what they want. I think all they want is just that, to be, yeah, what,
It's
yeah,
kind of sad,
why?
right? Like it's not no longer like our parents. Like
Yeah,
I think like I really value our parents'
mm-mm,
age back then when like when things are broken, they fix it. And I think like this day and age when things are broken, people are like, okay, let's get rid of that, dispose it next. And
And I think,
it's so sad.
yeah, and I think the change, the evolution of change has come about because of modernization as well. The internet makes it so
yeah,
possible, even like for you to not want to deal with the problem. Like they don't want to fix the problem in the dating, in the relationship. They rather go out and just, oh, you know what? I'll go find
yeah.
another new monkey because you got dating apps. You just
Mm,
turn on your phone, you swipe, swipe, swipe. You know,
but yeah,
like I don't want to deal with
mm,
confrontation, It's enable confrontation to be ignored. I think modernization has allowed confrontation to be ignored rather than like dealing with it like in our parents' day and age, like what Em was saying, they sit, they deal with the problem, they fix the relationship. Now people who don't want to deal with confrontation don't have to. They
yeah,
just walk away. You just block and delete, on the phone
yeah,
Next.
and you're
yeah.
like, next, let's swipe next,
It's easy to,
Oh, there must be love someday. I can find someone out of the country. Before traveling was harder, a lot of things were harder. Now connecting to find the next option that's more befitting has become a lot more
yeah,
easier as well. So people don't really work much on relationships. I mean, it's not fair to stereotype that they don't. I think some still definitely do. They definitely do, but like a lot of the younger generation, I would say they don't bother as well. They're like, swipe next,
and then
bye.
cepat boring
Bye.
kan,
Yeah.
like every single thing.
Mm.
You go 3 months and then okay, I think I'm done with this. I think I'm gonna go on the next one, and I think that uh,
Honeymoon phase is
uh,
over. It's like,
then
bye
that will never
bye.
end. I guess that vicious cycle will continue because no one is perfect. If you are unable to accept a
Yeah.
person
And
is
like
Yeah.
imperfect, then there will never be a perfect person because then you keep rolling and rolling on for the next, I don't know, so many years.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think there's a lot of beauty in
Mm,
imperfection. And you asked
mm,
about love, right? Like love is being able to accept somebody for their bad, their good, and everything, and not wanting to change them. I mean, of course, you want to change them for like to help them be better, right? But like to love them through their flaws and imperfections. I think, yeah, that's
Yeah, I
and
want
a
that
lot of
yeah,
old-fashioned kind of love, the
all right,
old-fashioned kind of love. Like what happened
yeah,
to
yeah.
that? Like the dating, the courtship, and when things are like
exactly.
simple, it's so complicated these days. Old-fashioned? Yes, I
Many
believe
facts.
so.
Emily
Okay,
will say
okay,
many
I
facts.
do,
Ada.
I do, I
Pasti
do.
ada.
Wow, I think this is such an interesting conversation about self-love and keeping our high spirit self.
We're a little support
Yes,
system,
yes, yes. Especially when it
Yeah.
comes to love, kind of thing. Self-love isn't selfish. I think self-love is everything. Uh,
No. As long as like you practice empathy with it, because sometimes people can answer you, I'm practicing self-love. I'm putting myself first. I've heard this answer from partners, from friends, and you're like, but you're hurting people along the way. So it's important to have empathy while you're practicing your self-love. Sometimes you still need to consider the other people in the equation when you're making your choices. Like even if it's something small, right? Let's say I'm with the both of you and I'm like, no, my self-love says now I gotta
yeah,
moisturize my
yeah.
face. That's a silly example, lighthearted example, right? But then, no, both of you have taken your time and energy to sit here together today for the three of us to have this conversation. So we put that
Mm,
aside for a while, and we be present in where we're at because we realize that it's important to one another. We respect one another and each other's time, right? That's just a very basic example because I feel when we practice self love, sometimes we forget about our environment, our surrounding environment, and we sometimes tend to hurt people as well along the way in this self love process. Well,
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think
you're
I
right.
have,
You're
but
right. I think in
Yeah.
that process, you will accidentally
yeah,
hurt other people
sometimes
without realizing it.
I noticed that because like especially those who have just started, I think it's safe for us to speak about this here because I think like Emmeline has been in this journey for a long time already, so she understands it as well, But I think people like I'm sure those who will be listening to this podcast, right, and want to practice self-love, and this advice goes to them, don't forget to be empathetic as well. Because when you just start embarking on self-love journey, you tend to cut out everyone else and you forget that you have other commitments, other responsibilities as well around you that you also have to be mindful of, right? It's not
Yeah,
just
to
take off and
exercise,
leave.
yeah, to exercise kindness, I think, kindness towards
Yeah,
yourself and to other people. I think
yeah,
it's okay to be selfish every now and then because sometimes well some people they give right and they don't sort of
yeah,
give to themselves, right? I'm talking about the other side of the extreme. And
yeah.
it's okay to be selfish in that sense if you're a giver and you're fully empathetic. It's okay to give to yourself. It's very important to give to yourself. I think in that sense, it's okay. But number one is to exercise kindness towards yourself and towards other people, I think, on the journey of self-love. And there's one quote that I felt like really helped with
Mm-hmm.
my healing. The Ho'oponopono quote, like the one that you say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you,
Yeah.
I love you.
No.
And I think that's like a really beautiful quote. And sometimes, well, it's a very triggering quote as well, because sometimes, like, mantra. Sometimes it's really hard to forgive someone that has really hurt you,
Or to forgive yourself.
and to forgive yourself as well for making that decision, right? And to realize that, that version that got you out of that situation, one day if you choose to love again, you have to
Mm-hmm.
get rid of that person, that version of yourself, right? So I think a lot of like self-forgiveness is important. So yeah, that mantra is amazing for me. Like, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Sometimes you have to say that
Mm-hmm.
to yourself as well.
And that's
Yeah.
worked even for me. I've practiced that before when I got into this whole self-love journey. It was my first early days.
Yeah, yeah. For me, is they either grow with you or they go. If you can't grow together,
Yeah.
take that
Yeah,
step and go. Yeah. And then if you
vibrate.
want to
Yeah,
grow together. You
this
can,
is the
yeah.
same. Correct.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
important. Yeah, absolutely. Like in
yeah.
relationships, like why relationships fail is because one of the reasons why relationships fail is that they don't grow together. So, one person outgrows the other and stuff like that. So it's important to grow
Yeah.
together as a
But I mean,
couple, right? In order to have a successful
in that
relationship.
journey of growth, I think you will slip. And then one would have to learn to forgive and accept. And then there will be time the other partner will also slip. And then you have to forgive and accept. I think for me, that is growth because again, no one is perfect and everyone will make mistakes. Everyone will do good. And if everyone empathize with each other, I think your growth will become more, sustainable. Yeah.
Yeah,
Tolerance.
and
Yeah.
tolerance as well, right? You have to be
Yeah.
tolerant towards each
And have
other.
some boundaries too with that tolerance. Do not cross, do not cross the
Absolutely.
line.
Like, oh
Yes.
my
Do
Yeah.
God.
not take advice.
Don't
Don't
give
give it.
in
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you think of
100%, definitely.
sudahan hidup kita di akhir? I don't know that in English. Do you think of that? Yeah,
What is our life? What will
yeah,
life be of us at the
yeah,
end of
yes.
this cycle?
Like how would I die,
Would
or
is that the right
who I will be
translation?
with, or would I be okay? Would it hurt me? I think of that. I think about it. Well, not all the time, but I think
I
it's
try
it
not
is a
to.
scary thing, right?
I
What do you
try
think?
not to. I
No,
try not to
because
because
it's spirit.
I
Yeah,
always
it
want to
has
think
to
about
do with
living.
spirit. Like the spirit keeps you high with knowing that your end is good.
Well, so having that quote in mind, it's like living. You should live every day to the best potential, right? Value your time, value your days, and live every day to the maximum, to the max. I think that gives credit to that quote. To live every day the way that you want, and in the way that brings you the most joy. I think that's important because at the end of the day, like when one thing. Okay, two things that are certain in life, right? Death and taxes. Okay, at the end of the day, death is like inevitable. It's gonna happen, right? So how are we living our life, uh, in a way that sort of gives meaning to that, meaning to your life? Whether it's like leaving a legacy or having a community or or establishing a family, what brings you joy? What is your legacy that you want to leave at the end of the day? Because, it's inevitable. Death is inevitable. It'll come for all of us. So it's important to see what you value the most in your life. What brings you the most joy? What do you want to build, in the future? That brings you that form of legacy and happiness.
Now, before we end the conversation, Emmeline and Kohinoor, what are your hopes and dreams for yourself and for the world?
I guess mine is pretty short. Like I said, it's being more resilient to negativity and becoming a better and kinder version of myself. Being kinder and better to myself on this journey of what we call life. And I hope everybody can practice the same thing as well, so they could live a better and more happy life. Not a pageant answer this time.
Okay. Before Emmeline goes, what's your pageant answer? World peace?
Like my last session made me feel I was like, maybe it sounds like a pageant answer,
Okay. Oh, Emmeline, what about you?
Well, regarding the journey of self-love and healing, I aspire to be, a more self-aware individual, on my quest towards mindfulness. I want to observe, question, reflect, learn, and practice kindness towards everything and everyone, especially to myself. And sometimes we get caught up, with life and you neglect, one's boundaries. I think it's important to establish strong boundaries and uphold them and be true to, your authentic nature. And also to balance, outlook and acceptance on attachments and detachments, because, attachments, when we have too many attachments, it leaves us sort of sad and miserable when it doesn't come to our sort of expectation, right? So understand the balance between attachments and detachments, because detachments also can help you. I'm not giving that person power to hurt me, right? So you have to establish that sort of balance between attachments and detachment. And also to connect to my higher self. I think that's important. Look inwards and connect to my higher self.
That's really nice.
That is,
yes.
Yeah.
That's very, very, sounds healing for me.
Ask your higher self. What would your higher self say?
Wow. I do hope that I think life would be a better place for everyone. I wish there's no war. I wish there's more than just, just, I don't know, all this. Yeah.
World peace.
And I think, okay, happiness is very subjective, but I think I want to be in peace with myself, with what I have chosen, with what will be for me in the future, because I don't know what, lies ahead, what will happen to my future. I don't know. Anything can happen. So I just hope that when that comes, myself today, what I thought would be okay, I knew it a long time ago that I could make it, Basically, just be in peace with myself. Yeah.
Oh, that's everything. To have peace, inner peace, right? And not to let anyone take that inner peace away from you. That's yours.
And wake up, I feel like I'm grateful for today. Instead of, my neck hurt, my back hurts. Sometimes I have dizzy.
Oh, my fingers hurt.
Legs.
I got white hair.
Oh, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go. I think I know I should embrace aging, but I'm not. I'm not
age gracefully.
I'm not liking it. Okay, well, it's okay. But I'm just okay lah, just me. I'm losing a lot more. And then
okay, there are plenty of treatments to fix that.
I'm fixing my teeth.
Yeah. So what's important is you have to.
There's always there's a solution to every problem. That's what we spoke about earlier. It's important to see what you want to solve first. Ground yourself and decide. Okay, what am I not happy about? How can I fix it? It's a school of thought.
Yeah. Or again, if you couldn't do anything, embrace it, accept it.
Yeah.
I think acceptance is something I think
maybe your path is something else.
And it's also a journey to accept. If you cannot change something, but there are things you have to accept. But if you can change it, then go ahead and change it. If you don't like something, get out of that box, change it.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go. Yeah. Some people complain about it, but they don't do anything about it. You're but the power to change is from nobody but yourself.
One of my best,
you can make
exactly,
a change.
And one of my best episodes on here is about change, because a lot of people struggle with change because change starts with them. Yeah, Yeah, and
Accepting
it starts
change,
with
you
them.
mean?
If
Yeah,
they don't
accepting
start
change. Yeah.
changing, people, you cannot expect people around you to change. You have to be the reason for change. You have to be the being of change. And then other people will emulate, I guess, because they see, wow, the change is this person. You lead by example. And then when you cannot just say without doing it, like Beyonce said, do it. Just do it. Don't talk about it.
Yeah, like we
Yeah.
Yeah.
can't change
Yeah.
other people, right? We can't
Be
change
that
other
change.
people,
Yeah.
but we can change how we react to that
Yeah.
situation or how
Correct.
we are
Yeah.
as a person. And I think with that, I think when you change yourself, circumstances around that person
Yes.
will change as well, and they would see
Yes.
that
Yeah.
change in you, right? So they're more susceptible to changing
Yes.
then.
Yes.
So be that
Yes.
change, be that
Yeah.
positive change.
And then this is all self love, and this is all keeping our spirit high. Well, thank you, Emmeline and Kohinoor, for joining me in this conversation. You are an inspiration to me. You bring light to
So both of
to
you.
me and hopefully the listeners. And I think your honesty in your authenticity in this story is something that I applaud because he lives for the applause. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me. I had an amazing time chatting with you both today. I think that has created a lot of like new insights as well. And I appreciate your time and the
Thank you for joining us.
conversation. No, thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Okay. Support the He podcast via a one-time donation, a monthly subscription from as low as $1, a lifetime membership, and purchase He's exclusive collection of merchandise. And for all other business inquiries at buymeacoffee.com/Rafi. Thank you for listening to He. A new episode is available every Thursday, and don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. We'd love to hear from you. Follow me on social media at Rafi Ridzwan and at He Podcast for all the updates and behind the scenes. Once again, thank you for listening to He with Rafi Ridzwan.